we have discussed. Good morning, children. This is Unit 6, Lesson Light, Part 2, Physical Science. Okay, so in the first session, that is in Part 1, what are the topics we have discussed? We have discussed laws of reflection. Do you remember the laws of reflection? Are you able to tell me the laws of reflection? We have two laws, very important laws. What are the laws? So the laws of reflection are nothing but very simple. The incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So what are the three rays that lie in the same plane? The incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. The second point is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, that is angle I is equal to angle R. Okay, so this is the very important law we saw in the first session. Then later on we discussed about lateral inversion, then real and virtual images, and curved mirrors, that is spherical mirrors. We have concave mirrors and convex mirror. Then we saw about the rules for construction of images. Okay, we saw how many rules we saw? We saw four rules. That is, a ray passing through the center of curvature will get reflected back in the same own path, Then the second rule is a ray parallel to the principal axis passes through or appears to be coming from the principal focus after reflection. Then the third rule is a ray passing through the focus gets reflected and travels parallel to the principal axis. Then the fourth rule is a ray incident at the pole of the mirror gets reflected along a path such that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So these are the four rules we saw for constructing the images. Then we discussed about concave mirror, right? We have saw many cases for the image formation. So that is in page number 69 and you have diagrams for all the cases. Then also we discussed sign convention. So can anyone remember the sign convention? So you are going to put positive and a negative sign for the images. If it is image is on the left side, then we will indicate that as negative sign, indicate it by negative sign. Okay, and the direction along the incident line, that if it is in the opposite direction, then we indicate it by positive sign. If it is downwards, we indicate that by negative value, and if it is upward, we indicate that by positive value. Then the last topic what we discussed is mirror equation. So the expression relating the distance of object. So always object is denoted by U and the distance of the image is denoted by V. Okay, and the focal length is denoted by small f. All the letters are in small. Okay, small letters. So distance of the object is denoted by small u, image distance is denoted by small v, and the focal length is denoted by small f. So the mirror equation is 1 by f is equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. Very, very important formula which we will use to solve the problems. Okay, mirror equation. So what is the formula for mirror equation? 1 by f is equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. So next we will see linear magnification, that is small m, denoted by small m. So what is magnification? You are going to, that is a very bigger image of the original image. If it is extended, that is the height of the original image is extended, that is we call as magnified. Okay, so magnification is nothing but the height of the image will be extended, expanded. Okay, it will get increased. So that image we call that as magnified image. So we are going to calculate the number of times, how much amount of times the height of the image have been increased. So we are going to calculate that. So that is called as linear magnification. So it can be defined as the magnification can be defined as the ratio of the height of the image. So hi, it is denoted by height of the image to the height of the object, ho. So what is magnification? It is given by hi divided by ho, that is height of the image divided by height of the object. So the magnification can be related, height of the image, so object distance is u and the image distance is v. So you can write that as m is equal to minus v divided by u. Okay, image divided by the object, image distance divided by the object distance. So this both are equal, hi divided by ho, that is image, height of the image divided by height of the object, which is equal to v by u, and it is indicated by negative sign. Why there is a negative sign? See, the note is given here. Why there is a negative sign? Can you guess? The negative sign in the value of magnification indicates that the image is real. The image is real because it is on the left side. The image is real and it is formed on the left side of the image. So it is indicated by negative sign. A positive sign in the value of magnification indicates that the image is virtual. If it is denoted by positive sign, then that is not a real image. It is called as a virtual image, that is duplicate image. But in a magnification image, we are magnifying the original image. Okay, so what we are seeing is the original magnified image. So it has to be indicated by negative sign. So therefore, linear magnification m is equal to minus v by u. Is that clear? So then you have problems, children. You have two problems in page number 71. Okay, so problems will be send you as a video in a separate session. So after part 2, a separate session for problems will be sent to you. Is that clear? So next we will discuss uses of concave mirror. Uses of concave mirror. Very important, 4 mark, children. Uses of concave mirror. So dentist head mirror. Have you seen? Have you been to dentist? Okay, the doctor who cleans our teeth. Okay, so dentist head mirrors. Have you seen that head mirror? They will be having clip-like structure where there is a torch or a lens-like structure over there. So a parallel beam of light is made to fall on the concave mirror. So this mirror focuses the light beam on a small area of the body such as teeth, throat, etc. So when the light is focusing on the smaller area of a particular damaged part, they can able to visualize that particular area and can find out what was the damage occurred there. Okay, so for that they use concave mirrors. So dentist head mirror is made up of concave mirror. Okay, then makeup mirrors. So makeup mirrors, why do we use concave mirror as a makeup mirror? So when a concave mirror is held near the face and upright, magnified image is seen. The magnified image of our face will be seen on the makeup mirror. Okay, so here our face will be seen magnified so that you can apply whatever necessary things on your face can be spread out neatly without any brushes. Then the other applications, this is very important, other applications of concave mirror. The concave mirrors are also used as reflectors in torches, headlights in vehicles and searchlights to get powerful beams of light. Large concave mirrors are used in solar heaters. So concave mirrors are also used as reflectors. Where it is used? It is used as reflectors in torches, headlights in vehicles. You have dome lights, right? So in vehicles. So that is all made up of concave mirrors. And searchlights to get powerful beams of light. Small torch light. Okay, a searchlight is also a torch light, but it emits a higher beam of light, a powerful beam of light. Large concave mirrors are used in solar heaters. Large concave mirrors are used in solar heaters. So these uses of concave mirrors are very, very important. Then we pass on to convex mirror. So far we have discussed about concave mirrors, image formation, and the formula for mirror, sign convention, okay, linear magnification, all these things, and the uses of concave mirror. So now we just pass on to the convex mirror. Convex mirror, a small change in the convex mirror is nothing but the concave means you draw like this. Concave mirror will be drawn like this, right? So it has been shaded at the back, whereas convex is quite opposite. This is the shape of the convex mirror, okay, where it has to be shaded on the inner side. It has to be shaded on the inner side. So convex mirror shape will be like this, and it has to be shaded in the inner side. So this is the shape of the convex mirror, okay. So the diagram is given in page number 72. So any two rays can be chosen to draw the position of the image in a convex mirror. A ray that is parallel to the principal axis, that is rule 1, and a ray that appears to pass through the center of curvature, that is rule 2. This is as similar as concave mirror, okay. There is no changes in the concave mirror, but here it will reflect back, and if we extend the ray, the image is formed behind the mirror. That is one thing you have to note. So all the rays behind the convex mirror shall be shown with dotted lines. So see the diagram here. So behind the mirrors, the image is formed, and it should be shown through dotted lines. It has to be shown only through dotted lines. So see here, the lens, the shape of the mirror is like this. It is shaded inside, and O dash is the image, and you can see the incident ray which gets reflected back, okay. Again another incident ray which gets reflected back. So when you extend these two rays through dotted lines, that is a meeting of these two dotted lines. It is called as, denoted as I and I dash. This is the image that is formed behind the mirror, okay. So this is how you have to draw the ray diagram for convex mirrors. So concave mirror is very, very important. Convex mirror, it is enough if you just to know how the mirror, you have to draw the mirror and where the image is formed. The image is formed behind the mirror. That is more than enough, okay. So now we will see the uses of convex mirrors. Very important. Brief answer, children. Uses of convex mirror. Convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors in vehicles. Rear view mirrors in vehicles. It always forms a virtual, erect, small-sized image of the object. As the vehicles approach the driver from behind, the size of the image increases. So side, when the vehicles, you have the side mirrors, right, where you can see the vehicle that is coming behind you. So that mirror is made up of convex mirrors. So when the vehicle come closer to us, the image is magnified. So you can see the magnified image, okay. The image increases. So when the vehicles are moving away from the driver, then the image size decreases. A convex mirror provides a much wider field of view, and it is the observable area seen through any optical device such as mirror compared to a plane mirror. Convex mirrors are installed on public roads as traffic safety device. They are used in acute bends of narrow roads such as hairpin bends in mountain passes where direct view of oncoming vehicles is restricted. It is also used in blind spots in shops. So these are the uses of the convex mirrors. So the uses of concave mirrors and convex mirrors are often asked question. Exam point of view, these two are important questions, okay. So now we will see the speed of light. What is speed of light? Can you calculate the speed of light? Who found speed of light? So in early 17th century, the Italian scientist Galileo Galilei, 1564 to 1642, tried to measure the speed of light. So who made the first experiment? Galileo Galilei. He tried to measure the speed of light. So in 1665, the Danish astronomer Ole Romer first estimated the speed of light by observing one of the 12 moons of the planet Jupiter. He estimated the speed of light to be 220,000 km per second. Okay, so he estimated the speed of light to be about 220,000 km per second. So in 1849, the first land-based estimate was made by Armand Fischer. Today, the speed of light in vacuum is known to be almost exactly 300,000 km per second. Refraction of light. So have you noticed such images when you put your hand in a transparent vessel which is full of water? Have you seen? Can you able to guess the image? You would have seen your hand or pencil, whatever you are putting inside the transparent vessel. There is a bend. There is a small change in the shape of the object. So why it is called so? So it is due to the refraction of light. It is due to the refraction of light at air and in water interface. That is, when light travels from a rarer medium to a denser medium, the ray gets diverted. Little bit the ray gets diverted from the normal ray. So that is why there is a small change in the image that is seen inside the water than the original image. So see, the pencil image is here, and if you draw a straight line, the image has to be here. But you can see there is a bend in the pencil. So how does this bend happen? This is nothing but the refraction of the light. Okay, the refraction of the light when enters from air to water, the light has a small bend, that is, it deviates from the normal. This is called as normal point. So this light gets deviated from the normal point and again it takes the straight line. So that is why the pencil appears to be bent at the surface of water. Okay, so this activity explains the refraction of light. So what is refraction? The bending of light rays when they pass obliquely from one medium to another, from air to water, is called refraction of light. Okay, so when light rays pass obliquely from one medium to other, there is a bend in the medium, in the light ray, and that is called as refraction of light. Okay, so now we will see a refraction of light from a plain transparent surface. When a ray of light travels from optically rarer medium to optically denser medium, it bends towards the normal. Travels from optically rarer medium to optically denser medium, that is from air to water. It bends normal. Okay, bends towards the normal. Whereas when a ray travels from an optically denser medium to an optically rarer medium, it bends away from the normal. So this is examples for refraction. A ray of light incident normally on a denser medium goes without any deviation. If it is the light rays travels in a normal place, then that is on a denser medium, there is no deviation of the light. You cannot see any deviation of the light. It straight away passes. So next we will see the laws of refraction of light. So we have already seen laws of reflection, right? So same two laws for the refraction of light. So what are the two laws? The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal to the interface of two transparent media at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So here also the incident ray, not reflected ray, but here it is refracted ray and the normal. Okay, so to the interface of two transparent media all lie in the same plane. And see the second point, ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is a constant for a light of given color and for the given pair of media. So here we call sine of the angle. So in laws of reflection we call as angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Whereas here for the refraction, the ratio of the sine of the angle of the incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is a constant. It is a constant for the pair of media. So if I is the angle of incidence, then R is the angle of refraction. Then how will you write the formula? The formula is nothing but sine I is divided by sine R. So for law of reflection, sine I is equal to, that is angle I is equal to angle R. Whereas for refraction, it is sine I by sine R, which is always a constant. Okay, and it is denoted by a Greek letter mu. It is denoted by Greek letter mu. And the formula for refraction of the index is mu is equal to speed of light. This is also a very important formula, children. This will be asked and will be used to solve the problems. Very important. So mu is equal to speed of light in vacuum, that is or air, c divided by speed of light in the medium, that is v. So in general, mu 1 2 is equal to speed of light in medium 1 divided by speed of light in medium 2. Okay. So next we will see the diagrams for the refraction. See the diagrams for the refraction. So this is air, and here down you have water medium. Okay. So incident ray, there is a small bend. Okay. So the light ray is not straight. The ray is not straight. If you see, you can see a small bend over here. Okay. And when you join the incident ray and the refracted ray, you will get I, the center point. And this is angle of refraction, and this is angle of deviation. Okay, if you draw the straight line using dotted lines, that gives you the angle of deviation. So same, air, water, when it gets reflected, again it bounces, bends to a little and goes straight. So when you draw a normal, it has to be denoted by dotted lines, and this will give you the angle of refraction and angle of deviation. And here also you can see air and water, the glass prism, straight line. The normal will be straight. If there is the light ray doesn't pass into two opaque mediums, then the angle is straight. There is no deviation in the light. This we saw in the law, right? So for 90 degree there is no deviation when the medium is same. You will also, I will show you another picture also. So here, see here, the denser medium and the lens less dense, A, dense is B. And you can see the refracted ray and the incident ray. So you can see the bend over here, the blue line, it is not straight. Okay, if you draw a straight line for the denser medium B, you will get, it has to be done by dotted lines, and you will get the angle of refraction and angle of incident over there. So now we pass on to the topic total internal reflection. So what is total internal reflection? The reflection that takes inside the material, not outer. The internal reflection means the reflection that takes inside the material. Okay, so when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, it gets refracted away from the normal. So while the angle of incidence in the denser medium increases, the angle of refraction also increases and reaches a maximum value, that is R is equal to 90 degree. When it reaches 90 degree, the angle is called as critical angle. Okay, the angle is called as critical angle. When the refracted ray reaches 90 degree, the angle is called as critical angle. And later on, the image, the ray that passes after that 90 degree will bend. It doesn't pass through. It will come down. Okay, it will reflect back. It doesn't pass through. that is R will be greater than 90 degree. So when the refracted ray is above 90 degree in the same medium, that gets reflected back to the same medium, is called as total internal reflection. You will understand if you see the diagram. You see the diagram, this is R, that is refraction, angle is 0 degree here. So you can see R is here less than 90 degree, there is a small bend in the ray, and again here little lesser than 90 degree, so you can see a larger bend. When it reaches 90 degree, there is no reflection, there is no refraction as well as no reflection. But when it is above, R is above 90 degree, you can see the ray gets reflected, the refracted ray gets reflected, bounce back in the same medium. So such type of angle is called as total internal reflection. The reflection is taken place inside the material. So such type of angle, that is above, the refracted angle is above 90 degree, we call those angles as total internal reflection. Okay, so it is possible only in the same medium. If it is water, it will take place only in the water. If it is air, it will take place only in air. Such type of reflections are called as total internal reflection. So what are the conditions to achieve total internal reflection? So you have two conditions to achieve this total internal reflection. They are: light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium, that is from water to air. Okay, when a light travels from water to air, this total internal reflection may takes place. Or the angle of the incidence inside the denser medium must be greater than that of the critical angle, that is R should be greater than 90 degree. If it is greater than 90 degree, there may be a chance of this total internal reflection. Or the light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium. So denser medium means water, rarer medium means air. Okay, this is the example for denser and rarer medium. The total internal reflection in nature. So in nature there is an example. So in nature, this total internal reflection, we call it as mirage. We call that as mirage. That is, light rays bends and you can able to see a false image. You can able to see a false image of the sun during sunny days or during rainy season. You can see a false image. So that false image is called, that is nothing but it is called as illusion, false image, and we call that as mirage. That image as mirage. Okay, so thus a ray of light bends away from the normal and undergoes total internal reflection. Total internal reflection is the main cause for the spectacular brilliance of diamonds and twinkling of stars. So this is why when the internal reflection, when the reflection is inside the object, you can able to see the shining of the object. So that is why diamonds and the stars are twinkling, are shining, because the reflection of the light is inside, taking place inside the diamond as well as inside the stars. Okay, so which is the reason for the twinkling of the diamond and the stars? This total internal reflection. Okay, so optical fibers. So I will show you a picture for the mirage. So this is a false image of looks like a fire is glowing, but actually it is a sun. But when you see the sun from a longer distance, it will look like this in the desert. Okay, you can see a false image of the a blunt image of the sun rays. So this is an example, a small picture of mirage. So next topic is optical fibers. So what are optical fibers? These are the bundles of high quality composite glass quartz fibers. High quality composite glass or quartz fibers. So each fiber consists of a core and a cladding. The refractive index of the material of the core is higher than that of the cladding. So optical fibers work on the phenomenon. It is also work based on the total internal reflection. Okay. So when R is greater than 90 degree, this total internal reflection takes place. Or when the rays passes from denser medium to rarer medium, this total internal reflection takes place. So this optical fibers works under the phenomenon total internal reflection. So when a signal in the form of light is directed at one end of the fiber at a suitable angle, it undergoes repeated total internal reflection along the length of the fiber and finally comes out at the other end. So here the optical fiber is used to pass the signals, light signals. Okay, so using this total internal reflection, the light signals can pass from one point to the other point, that is one end of the fiber to other end of the fiber. So this is basically used in the hospitals for the treatment. Okay, for optical fibers are extensively used for transmitting audio and video signals through long distances, and moreover, due to their flexible nature, optical fibers are enable physicians to look and work inside the body through tiny incisions without having to perform surgery. Okay, so this is the structure of the optical fiber. So there is another picture. I will show you the light ray that travels inside the optical picture. See here, you can see the light rays travel inside the optical fibers. Okay, so here when R is equal to greater than 90 degree, the light gets reflected. Okay, so it reflected back, bounces back inside the fiber itself. So from one end to the other end, the light signals can pass, so that the physicians can use this optical fibers to check the inner part damages. Okay, so by this the lesson comes to an end. By reading out this optical fiber, the lesson comes to an end. Now we will discuss the textbook exercises. A ray of light. First we will see choose. A ray of light passes from one medium to another medium. Refraction takes place when angle of incidence is from one medium to other medium. A ray of light passes. The angle will be, is it 0, 45 or 90 degree? It's 90 degree. So refraction, it's whenever you find the word refraction, surely the angle will be 90 degree. And second one, dash is used as reflectors in torch lights. Which mirror is used as a reflectors in torch lights? Concave mirror, reflectors in torch lights. Then third one, we can create enlarged virtual images with dash mirror. So this is also concave mirror. The answer is concave mirror. When the reflecting surface is curved outwards, the mirror formed will be when the surface is curved outward. The name of the mirror is convex mirror. The name of the mirror is convex mirror. Answer for fourth one is convex mirror. Then fifth one, when a beam of light passes through a prism, it gets, when a beam of light is passed through a prism, it gets, is it reflected or only deviated, or deviated and dispersed? The answer is deviated and dispersed. When a beam of light passes through a prism, it gets deviated and dispersed. The sixth one, the speed of light is maximum in vacuum, glass or diamond. The speed of light is maximum in vacuum. True or false? The angle of deviation depends on the refractive index of the glass. Yes or no? Yes, true. The angle of deviation depends on the refractive index. If a ray of light passes obliquely from one medium to another, it does not suffer any deviation. Is it so? It does not suffer any deviation? No, it is false. It suffers a deviation, that is, it bends away from the normal, right? Obliquely from one medium to another medium, if a ray of light passes from one medium to other medium, surely there is a bend, there is a change of the ray. So the second one is false. A convex mirror always produces a virtual diminished and erect image of the object. Yes, true. It always produces virtual diminished image and erect image. When an object is at the center of the curvature of concave mirror, the image formed will be virtual and erect. Is it true? For concave mirror, the image formed will be real and inverted. So the fourth one is false. The image formed will be real and inverted. The reason for brilliance of diamonds is total internal reflection of light. Yes, the shining of the diamonds and the stars are due to total internal reflection. So fifth one is true. Fill in the blanks. In going from a rarer to denser medium, the ray of light bends towards what? Bends towards the normal. That is the answer. Okay, light bends towards the normal. Then second, fill in. The mirror used in searchlight. The mirror used in searchlight is concave mirror. Then third one, the angle of deviation of light ray in a prism depends on the angle of deviation depends on the angle of incidence. Depends on the angle of incidence. Then fourth one, the radius of curvature of a concave mirror whose focal length is 5 cm. How will you find the radius? R is equal to 2f. The formula for finding radius is R is equal to 2f. The focal length is given here, that is 5. So 5 into 2 is 10. So the radius is 10 centimeter. Okay, 10 centimeter. The formula is R is equal to 2f. PDF will be uploaded. So don't worry if you didn't note the answer. Your answers will be uploaded as soon as possible. So just we are discussing the answer. The fifth one, large dash mirrors are used to concentrate sunlight to produce heat in solar furnaces. Which mirror is used in solar furnaces? Concave mirrors. Concave mirrors. So match ratio of height of image to height of object. It is called as height of the image. If you calculate the ratio of the height of the image or height of the object, it is magnification. Used in hairpin bends in mountains. Which mirror is used? Concave mirrors. Coin inside water appearing slightly raised. It is refraction. Okay. Mirage. Total internal reflection. Mirage occurs due to total internal reflection. That is false image. Illusion. Used as dentist mirror. Concave mirrors. Okay. So these are 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. This is the answer for match. And you have assertion and reason. You will get the answers for all these question answers and the answers that has to be written in the classwork. Answer very briefly. Answer very briefly. First question. First question, third question and sixth question. So in brief answers, I want you all to write first, third and sixth question. First, third and sixth question. Then detailed answer. Fourth question and fifth question. Brief answer. Brief answer, fourth question and fifth question. Very, very important questions these two are. Fourth question and fifth question. What is meant by magnification? Write its expression. What is the sign for the real image and a virtual image? And fifth one, write the spherical mirror formula and explain the meaning of each symbol used in it. Okay. So fourth and fifth one. And detailed answer. Detailed answer. Both the questions are important question. Okay, make you write first question. Write the first question in your classwork. Draw ray diagrams to show how the image is formed using concave mirror when the position of the object is at C, between C and F, between F and P. And mention the position and nature of the image in the each cases. Okay, so but both the questions are important in exam point of view. And I want you all to write all the 3 problems given at the book back. Okay, problems are very, very important. So I want you all to write the problems in the classwork. So what are the questions you are writing? 6th Roman, answer very briefly. You are writing first question, third question and 6th question. Then answer briefly 4th and 5th question. Detail answer first question and numerical problems all the 3 problems. Okay. So PDF will be uploaded as soon as possible. Revise for the exam properly, children. Do your test well. Thank you. Have a good day.